Good morning. We're here. Can you guys hear me okay? My microphone is a slightly different situation. So I gotta make sure we're here. That's good. Can you guys hear me okay? My microphone is a slightly different situation.
Sounds like ass.
It's fine. It's fine. Me okay? My microphone. We're already into the Nitro discussion. Comments.
Sounds like ass.
Yeah, you should drink it.
Hold on, let me switch something. Sounds like.
I'll tell you this. I think
Here.
will always be here. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. I mean, look. You know what happens whenever you use Nitro? You tape little notes on the back of the guitar for yourself.
They come off.
And it rips the paint off.
Rips right off.
Which is kind of dope.
I mean, it kind of. Why do we like that so much? But we do.
Well, I think it deals more with the life and death cycle of human beings as a whole. Is that we just want to leave our mark on this world. Therefore, whenever we see our mark left on a piece of wood, we're like, yeah, we did something.
Derek, should I put this thing on me and just see if it dies, it dies?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, cool. All right, boys. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to charge our packs.
It's okay.
That was charged, but for some reason
it was charged.
the charger was...
Okay, maybe the charger is all screwed up.
Charger was acting funny.
The charger's being funny. Okay, Nitro. Why, man, Tom came by, was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
And I was running off to teach a lesson, and it was sad. Did you get to hang out with Tom?
I did hang out with Tom. He sat down and hung out with us while we ate lunch, and gave us the goods. He gave us the heat. He gave us quite the beating.
Baiting.
Baiting. Oh. Oh.
Tom Baiting. Beatty.
That's right.
Come on. Come on.
He hung out. We had an R9 last week that we sold.
Pretty immediately.
Yeah.
Sadly.
I know.
I was rooting for you, Tom. I'm sorry.
Us too.
That was a good guitar. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
That's right.
No.
What, I mean, what's everybody in the chat think? Do you want a nitro-coated guitar, or do you want a poly-coated guitar?
Or do you genuinely not care? I had the first custom shop guy I've ever had the other day that tell me he just didn't care.
That's out of 400 and almost 450 spec outs that we've done in the last couple of years.
I bet. Here's. And Mayor McCheese, I know your thoughts. I know.
Neither.
But maybe this is a good time to elaborate on them. Out of how many? 400 and something forms through our portal.
Yep. Not including people who call us and do.
I was gonna say there's quite a bit more than that, but
more.
that's just the ones like that I'm directly speccing for customers.
Which is hundreds, which is kind of nuts.
And really, only since we started that forum, so I don't know how many there were for that.
Before,
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Lots of them, right? I can remember maybe 2 that did not want Nitro. One guy yesterday didn't care, and the other were overwhelmingly in favor of Nitro. But I mean, and I'm not saying that that's all horribly informed. Like some of that is just, hey, it's supposed to be Nitro because it was that way in 1957 or whatever. I know I like Nitro better.
It's dope.
The only guitar that I own right now that's not Nitro is my Gretsch Falcon. Is poly.
Which, in a lot of ways, we've talked about this before, is a little disappointing. Not severely disappointing. It's
it's severely disappointing.
Well, because you played that thing enough that I know there would be cool armware around the binding right now.
It already is kind of filthy looking in a nice way. Like the great thing about the Gretches is all the Falcons in particular is all that gold hardware gets that green shit on it. And I try to scrape it off, or not scrape it off, but wipe it and. Yeah. But at some point you're just like,
it just doesn't happen.
You're like, yeah. Especially those Imperial tuners. It's like all those things that make it so cool are also kind of a pain in the what. But then they do look cool. People see that guitar, they're like, man. Mayor McChee says they don't know any better. They've never played anything else. You ever play a guitar with a shellac or milk paint? How do you know you like Nitro? Well,
just look at it. It doesn't help that I'm just able to see this right away and be like,
Well, see, I love the checking and the aging, you know. And I've played some guitars with some different things. I don't know if they were particularly that, but I don't know.
the smell.
I mean, because people bring in like boutique-y sort of builds that they've done with different finishes.
Yeah.
And I've never, and to be fair, that's a limited range. But I've never played one that I thought, damn, that is superior.
Yeah. The only other finish that I think I like as much is that gun oil thing.
That doesn't do it as much for me either, though.
Well, the issue
like on the
is
sexy end of things, you know.
you
like,
gotta know, like, oh, I want a natural guitar.
It's
like,
got to be that
all
natural, and I don't necessarily dig that, right? And like you know, no, I will say that I only like the nitro on the neck is so much better when it's worn, which you know, I get the logic is weird. Like, oh, I only like this finish when it's coming off. I get it, but it is tied to like this whole historic. You know, I kind of want my guitar to look like a 1950s.
And there's something cool, and I know I was being funny and philosophical earlier about it, but there is a truth to that. Like that's from my belt buckle, because I don't run a back plate, you know? Yeah. That's from the tape from us playing a charity show, you know? Yeah. This thing's for me smashing it on cymbals. Like, that's dope. I don't know. All the pick wear, like, cool. Hours and hours and hours of playing guitar and just, like, you know, I don't know.
That's so Mayor says you can check and age better with milk paint. So, okay, so that I'd like to kind of see.
I'd like to see and feel it.
I'd like to feel that. I mean, I'm not against any of those things, you know, and I'm not against poly. It's just when I'm holding the poly guitar, I know that it's never going to be that. So if there's an alternative like a milk paint that does that,
I'm cool with that. I'd want to see it.
I'm into it. You know,
I have no qualms about seeing something.
I also and does it change it for you when you get away from traditional like Gibson and Fender stuff?
As long as it looks and kind of works the same, like it'll wear with the instrument, I'm okay with that. I don't care.
I'm just saying, like, when you see the nitro finish, right? Like, when you see, is it as important to you on something like a Nova? I mean, like, obviously they kind of go with the Fender-y finish of like the Closet Classic kind of deal with the relics aging, whatever you want to call it.
At a certain point, I would have said yeah, but now I think I've come to a place, like I've been playing that Reverend, and obviously that's just a poly finish guitar, right? Part of me feels like if you're going for something that's completely new and different, don't be afraid to do something that's new and different, like this milk paint thing, or you know, poly to some degree, or a gun oil finish. But I don't know, you know, like I read this quote the other day that actually made a lot of sense to me, because I don't tend to think about it a lot. I think about it in the sense of like our guitar shop and like what that means and stands for. But it's kind of like whatever you do, like, you know what I mean? If that works for you. And then you see like a guy like Tom Morello talk about, you know, well, if you're an artist, then it shouldn't matter. All my guitars are junk and garbage and this and this. Like, okay, well, yeah, but
I think that comes down to this thing of what kind of artist are you, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's okay to be like a little classy and having like guitars that function and are like great craftsmanship things. And it's also okay to make art with pieces of junk if you want to do that. That's fine.
Yeah. I think in that same vein, and just take people from his class so that there's not an age thing about it either, is you got a Tom Morello who thinks that, but then you have a John Frusciante and a McCarty, you know, or not McCarty, McCready, you know, guys like that who are very
It's weird to think that they're all sort of in that same
league,
sort of time frame-ish.
Yep.
Sort of. Close enough. Now, Mayor says, where did I lost it? I lost it. Darn you, scrolling comments. Go watch videos of nitro explosions killing hundreds in China. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not cool. So, like, if that is inherently a nitro thing, I mean, is some of that the conditions and the safety regulation? Because, I mean, obviously we work with dangerous stuff. Yeah. People do all the time. But yeah, no, I don't think anybody, like, wants nitro guitars at the expense of people being forced to make them in, like, poor conditions. Like, I don't think that at all, obviously. So yeah, so that, you know. And Bob, I don't really know what milk paint is.
I don't either.
We're taking the mayor's word for it. So, but, you know, I'm sure there's all sorts of cool possible alternatives.
Yeah.
You know.
He says milk paint and shellac ain't new. It's way older than Nitro. They're literally ancient. It would be new to me, I guess, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I have
Well,
no
it
clue.
would be kind of
Yeah.
new probably in like
The guitar world.
industry as a whole,
Yeah.
you know. I'm sure there are probably, maybe there's guitars out there.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Bean Lamb says, what bothers me about poly is that when you get a ding or a crack in the finish, it's never going to grow into something cool. That is it, right?
Right.
Have you ever had a poly guitar where you get that thing and it almost like spider webs and it's like the dig out and
And then
it's
it
sharp.
it'll actually pop off in a big chunk. Like a great guitar to look at. And maybe this is a winning side for poly guitars, but some people, I know what Jonathan's going to say when I say it. Johnny Greenwood's Telecaster. It has a bunch of dings on it and stuff like that. It's a poly guitar. It's a Tele.
This is from our pal Monty, homegrown son.
What?
This is a
That's
Poison
cool.
Ivy.
Well, that's super cool, man.
That's super cool.
Pickguard on that thing's
Now listen,
sick.
check out the headstock. So it's a Tele. I don't know if you guys can really probably not see that too good.
It almost looks like a Gibson headstock.
Kind of does, right? Would you play something like that?
I think so. It'd be cool, you know?
Yep.
What are your thoughts? What do you think?
The 6 on the, or the 3 on the side headstock is interesting on Tele,
yeah.
right? But I mean, obviously people got used to the Silver Sky.
True.
So it feels great when I'm sure it will be once you build it and do all the
You
things.
just wait for the cease and desist coming from Paul.
Well,
You're done, son.
it's not an NF53. Yeah. No, I think it's cool.
No, that is cool. Yeah.
Let's see what the mighty Woodrow has to say. I can't 100% go along with Tom Morello, being he has signature gear. That kind of negates the gear doesn't matter, especially if he's getting paid for it. Just my 2 bits. Man, that's a great.
There's a lot of things with Tom Morello.
Fight the machine.
Brought to you by Sony.
Listen, it's fine. That man's raging. How much is the Soul Power guitar? How much was that one?
It was around 2,000.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Junk.
I mean, it's just a little.
Man, Tom Morello's a boomer. I guess he is.
I mean,
He's making those boomer DJ sounds with his guitar. God bless him.
it's just kind of like
You know.
I don't know. He's one of those guys. He's just like, oh, I don't care. And don't get me wrong. It's a lot of musicians, artists are out there like that. But with Tom Morello, it's just a little bit more because he's so about it. And then at the same time, you're like, well, Tom.
Well, listen. Here's the thing, right? And at the chance of making the Tom Morello army mad at me, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like to his credit, I know Derek has told me that when they saw him at Epicenter doing his thing, that it was entertaining and it was cool.
Yeah.
So like he is a like pretty
yeah.
creative guy. You know what I mean? Someone sent me a clip of him doing the master class where he unplugs the guitar, goes dun 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 dun, dun. And I'm like,
All
that's
right.
maybe a step too far. So I don't know. If it's your thing, it's your thing, right? Mary McCheese, that's a great point. That is a great point.
Yeah.
Tom says he can't see Woodrow's chat comments. Woodrow, are you in the YouTube land? Yeah, he is.
Is he on Johnny's or is he in?
Yeah.
You on Johnny's YouTube? God bless you. God bless you. Boys, it's about to time to resurrect Johnny's YouTube channel.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I've been feeling motivated lately.
Why I'll
to go
never
out
play another
to
Strat
go-
again.
I never wanted to make this video. I'm gonna start going out into the
I'll
Woodrow.
never touch a
God
pedal.
bless you. I knew I loved you, you sexy bearded man.
I love it.
I think that I am gonna start going out to my building and just ranting at you guys.
Just
Not
being
at you,
pissed.
ranting for you.
I want to
The
see
everyman.
sunglasses, cowboy hat
Just
on.
me in the corner, not
drinking
even looking
beer.
at the camera, dark,
Just-
sitting there in the rocking chair, Coors Light in hand.
You know, I knew this shit was gonna happen. You just go down the list.
Poor Tom, or not poor Tom, poor me, says that my page is the kids' table. Don't you worry, I'm about to pump it up. Pumping it up. Coming.
That's right.
Going on my own road to 10K. Road to 10K for Johnny's YouTube. Okay. Somebody had a real custom shop question. Brian Carpenter, honest question. What are your thoughts on custom shop wood upgrades? It's worth the price to sort for dark rosewood or the various flamed maple tiers. I will answer you the way I answer every person who I talk to on the phone about this. With a bunch of bullshit. No, I'm just-
Well, there's a lot of words to say.
There's a lot of words. Okay. So let's talk about, because to my mind, these things live in the same world. And I prepare for not a rant, but so sorting for dark rosewood, right, is the same to me as sorting for lightweight. So like if you do master built, like with the weight, for example, you can say, hey, I want this guitar to be no more than 7.2 pounds. You can do that, and it's quite a hefty upcharge to do that. But you can have a specified weight range that's pretty tight. You know what I mean? With a team built, though, best you can do, sort for lightweight. Now, here's what I tell everybody who asks me this question when we're actually building a guitar. You're in the custom shop. There's already, in the concept of things, the stack of the best wood, which in my brain is the most resonant, which I also think plays out to the lightest, right? So all you're paying for when you say sort for lightweight is when it's time to build your guitar, they take the time to go over that pile of wood, pick it all up. Oh, okay, this one's the lightest. Build your guitar. Now, the lightest piece might have been the one that got grabbed for the guitar before yours, and that guy didn't pay for sort for lightweight, and his guitar is actually lighter than yours. So it's like one of those things. We're never, I say this, knock on wood, it's not like we're getting any boat anchors from the custom shop, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Everything is like, I would say from the really reasonable to light. So I don't, and we're only talking like $160 to upgrade to sort for lightweight.
Funny enough, whenever we demand a boat anchor and we say we need it to be the heaviest
It wasn't
guitar you
heavy
have,
enough.
They can't get it heavy enough because of the wood choices.
Now, same thing for the rosewood, right? Like, you're just getting them to go over and find the darkest piece that's in the pile that they have at the moment, right? So maybe the guitar before yours got the crazy dark piece. They didn't pay for it. It was just luck of the draw. So and again, sorting for dark rosewood is like an $80 upcharge. I'm throwing all the secrets out there.
Do you want me to tell them the secret to
I was
getting
about
the darkest
that was what
rosewood?
go ahead, Sean. Sean has cracked this code, and I believe there's something to it.
The darkest rosewood that I've seen on any custom shop is if you just go for the laminate board. You can tell by the bottom.
Thinner.
It's thinner.
And I think there's more available.
There's more available. And
That's gorgeous.
It's dark. Every other one that we've gotten in that's like this, and there's not many because a lot of people are like, I want
Gotta
the
have the
whole
slab.
right?
I find that to be changing too, though. I found a lot of customers lately, not one or two, a lot, who don't care.
Lot.
They're like round lamb, flat lamb, I don't care. But now, the other things, right? Now, it's totally different when you're talking about the flame maple. Because that is a identifiable, like you can see the difference in 3A flame, 2A flame,
and
if you're master built 4A flame, or no flame. Like, so that is worth it. If you want a flame neck, then yes, because if you don't order a flame neck, guess what? Your neck will not be flamed.
Yeah.
So that part, yes. But the dark rosewood, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Like, if that is the most important thing to you, still do it.
Yeah.
But if it's just kind of like mildly like, oh, I just want to make sure I get a nice piece of rosewood, well, it's a custom shop. I think you're going to be okay.
And what I'll say too is if you do that, we can, and we've done this before, where we will argue on that point for you because you chose that. So if it comes in and it's nowhere near the standard that we have for these things, then we send it back. We've had that before.
Yeah.
We had a bird's eye maple. The guy had two.
One eye.
It's just one.
And he was like, they were technically,
Yeah.
it's
It's double A. We were like, no, this is not.
And shout out to Baxter for that, because that's where he kind of goes to bat and says like, hey, no.
Yeah. Now
that's ridiculous.
What I will say too is this is a flame maple neck that, and I think just by coincidence, I don't know if it's AAA on the sheet or not. I'd have to look at it. I haven't really paid attention to it. But what's funny is, you can't even see it on this camera right now, and we're like 6 foot away from that camera. So it's kind of like, well, what's the, it's totally just for you if you do it. This just so happened to be the spec on this guitar when I bought it.
Yeah, no, Brian says he's 1,000% in for the most flame neck I can get. Yeah, so that totally, that's what you want. That 1,000% makes sense, But yeah, the dark rosewood, I don't have a strong feeling about it. My feeling, like I said, is kind of like sorting for lightweight. Like, you're already kind of coming from the best possible scenarios. That's just making sure you get the best one. I'm in afraid to even look back at the chat.
I know. I'm like, God only knows.
We like bone nuts and wood sticks. This is true. This is true. So there you go. There you go. Can you request a close-grained quarter song? You can absolutely do quarter song. Now, what do you reckon they'd say if we say, hey, we want a close-grained quarter song? It might be like, I don't know. I mean, you know.
I feel like where the custom shop's at right now, they'd probably be like, huh? And they go, what?
Quarter song it is.
Sure. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. We just have to see. Honestly. That's the honest answer, but I feel like they might be like, okay.
So, no. Duty 7330 is waiting on a Fender Professional 2.
Here, Johnny, tell us what you're like.
Oh, did I die?
You died. So
No!
I'll plug it in and charge it up here a little bit and get back to you.
Morello has plastic nuts, or so I've heard.
I'm going to yell into Sean's breast for the rest of the time.
Just put it on the fucking thing there in the middle.
Put it on it. We'll use the advent calendar for good. Do it.
Clip, yeah.
Nope.
I was like, maybe
Just do
it'll
the
be
clip.
powerful enough.
Use the clip, yeah.
Listen, guys, I was going to use the clip. Don't worry. I know everybody thinks I wasn't.
I'll never use that clip.
You fuckers.
There you go.
Lance Armstrong signature synthetic nuts. I like it.
Yeah.
They should make signature nuts. That would be fun.
You don't have a signature nut?
No. We should though.
Sean Diesfeld, signature nuts.
Signature nuts.
Always cut just right.
Solid.
Listen, tell us about the pedal thing you were telling me about.
I was trying to find the post, but apparently the EU is cracking down on what is coming into the country. So
Those crazy Europeans. No
find this
offense.
out. And somebody in the chat here may know it before I do. Let's see.
Bean Lambs. That's right, the evil pumpkin. I forgot that was you for a minute. You know what? That is a thing on that scenario where we will just ask Levi directly. We'll cut it out of the picture on that one because I think on some of those things where the master builder is picking it out, they have a better idea of what is what. So that's one of those things, man, where like, I'll ask Levi, and that's when he contacts you when the build starts. That's something to talk about. Those are even the kind of things, honestly. Like Levi's a good example, man. If you're building a guitar with Levi Perry, you can Instagram him and talk to him about it. And he's pretty good. He's sent quite a few customers pictures like as the builds progress. And I think that's pretty awesome. Now, all the guys don't do that. I kind of think it depends on how sort of social media savvy they are and how much they like to interact with customers. But Levi's very good about it. So there you go. Mayor McChee says the EU sees the sanctions coming and getting their stuff together.
GPSR. So I saw this post from Land Devices. This was literally just a few hours ago that I had seen it. We have decided to pause shipping to the EU until further notice. Basically, they're going to stop shipping after Thursday tomorrow. Yeah. So the last orders to get in for Land Devices, if you are Land Devices, hobbyist in the UK or the EU or wherever, jump on it now because by tomorrow they're shipping them out and that'll be it until further notice. But let's see. Let me look up this GPSR thing. GPSR.
While you're doing that, I'm going to answer Nick. Any experience with ordering non-traditional reclaimed wood from the custom shop? Saw a beautiful redwood Jazzmaster by Gillespie. I think some of those things they do. Sometimes they just kind of do stuff they want to do with like a piece of wood, and it's available to dealers or whoever. As far as ordering that, man, like there's all sort of like, exotic wood tops and things you can do or different bodies. And I've done a few of those with custom shops and they've all come out really, really well. I haven't done anything with reclaimed wood like that through the custom shop, but I'm sure, especially if it was a master builder, I know it would be good. But, just some really pretty, like, obviously Koa tops. The other one I'm trying to think about, sassafras, that kind of stuff. Yeah, some of them have come out really pretty stunning. And I mean, a lot of that just, I don't think the guitar is ever like a bad guitar. It's just, is the aesthetic what you dig or not? If you like the aesthetic and you like the grain patterns and the different woods,
You don't want none of that.
you got a nice piece of alder right here.
So GPSR, just to start off, it stands for the General Product Safety Regulation. And on December 13th of 2024, there is a new law that will replace that. And it's basically a lot more strict. There's a lot of components that are knocked out, and they said that this is mostly affecting hobby and arts materials up to like candles, clothing, furniture, gardening tools, household goods, bicycles. I don't know why bicycles is on this list. Children's products. So,
At least it's not children.
and I saw this from Chase Bliss back in August, where they were stopping, shipping to the UK and EU because of similar reasons. So, I don't know. That's pretty nuts, What, I mean, is it, it's kind of like the Brazilian rosewood thing in the US. Like, if it's here, we can use it. If it goes to ship out, it's illegal, But it's already on a guitar. Are they a little too strict about this stuff if it's,
Yes.
like...
I mean, I it's always funny, right? Because, like, on the face of things, I'm all for making sure everything is ethical, everything is, from a conservation standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes there are dumb regulations that make no sense, and they're not actually doing the thing that we want it to do. And so, like, I'm kind of against that needless. Like, if you got a guitar that's already made, that is, like, you have owned it, right? And it's a Brazilian guitar.
Yeah.
And you want to take it or ship it to Europe, I think that's kind of ridiculous to not, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. It, especially if it's already on there, I just don't understand it seems like a lot of bureaucratic red tape for something that is already done. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be different if it's like we're going to go cut down Brazilian rosewood trees and, drag that. We're not, though. We're just literally, running with shit that's already there.
Now, two questions, unrelated. Do we like pine necks? I don't know if I've seen pine body guitars. Have you ever seen a pine neck? I feel like pine is too soft to be a neck.
No, I haven't. Never mind.
I mean, I feel like you really need something that's pretty stable for a neck, and I'm not sure pine is it.
I think you're right. I think it is too soft.
But that's just my thought, because pine is very soft wood.
You'd have to roast the hell out of it, probably.
Yeah, that's probably the only way to do it. And maybe I have seen that. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So not familiar enough maybe to have an opinion, but my first thought would be like a straight pine neck that's not roasted would be.
How close is like Carina to that? Because
I
I just think of how thin the grain is, But I don't know.
Carina is.
It's probably pretty sturdy, right?
I never cared about Carina until we played Big Ed. I never gave to what's.
It's pretty good.
But now I'm like, that was neat. What happened to the John Cruz Guitar Shop? That's a great question. I think obviously it is not there anymore, and is he working for Pale Eddie Guitars or somebody like that?
Yeah, he's doing some relic jobs for them.
So which is a company who actually Rod Washburn, who was the guy who was like the global sales guy for Magnetone, has just gone to that company. Which that's not the only company under the umbrella of who's like Lion and Healy or somebody like that. Yeah. But that's one of the guitars, and I think John Cruz is there. Man, the John Cruz thing I felt like had so much potential, and just a lot of, I think, not the right decisions were made.
Great example, not blowing your load.
I mean, he could have been set up a lot like Castados.
I think he could have done that. I think if he would have maybe went about it in a different way, he could have done something kind of like Novo, but I don't know. I think there was just a lot of mismanagement.
I think there was a lot of mismanagement. I think there were a lot of people involved, and I think he tried to maybe get a little too big too quickly, like from the get-go, which caused a lot of overhead. Yeah, and it is it's very unfortunate. Yeah. Well, or not, depending on how you look at it. But
it's kind of like anything, right? Like I think comparing him to Carlos Lopez is a good comparison. Good mark, right? So Carlos
did it the right way and killed it,
But he also did a lot of it on his own.
in
And he
his
was
friggin' garage with
Yes.
his family, and I think that's a really cool model.
big thing there. Now,
you know.
whenever you, I think we can all admit that being in the public eye and having to go through growing pains is a mother. Like being able to show that, that's like, oh, that sucks. But I don't know. I think Carlos did it the right way. That's the way that I would do it. You know, otherwise you probably come off a little, you know, mightier than I and like, you know, thinking pretty big of yourself. And there we go. And then you deliver a subpar product because you think that it's just easy. So, certain shit ain't supposed to be easy. All right, that's what I'm getting at. Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you gotta do the hard work.
You also, I don't think, can just like rest on the fact that you got a little bit of a name.
Yeah.
You got to deliver a thing that's.
I am somebody.
Right.
Okay. To someone, maybe, maybe not.
Hopefully, you know. Hopefully, you can still do the thing you're known for. But you know, I don't know. Tom asked, "Can you send the custom shop wood and have them build you a guitar?" No. In fact, I just tried it with my pal Bean Lamps here, and yeah, even with the documentation for the wood and the receipts from StuMac, that was a no-go. I think Fender's just funny about that, man. And I, you know, I've had varying success sending them all sorts of things. I've had them say yes to sending pickups for guitars that they were going to do like master builds. I've had them say no for that. I've had them say, you know what I mean? So it's like we've said this before, the custom shop operates a little differently sometimes. It's like whoever's in charge decides, nah, we're not doing this right now. Oh, okay, we can do this now. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So, but the wood thing I think is pretty much a no-go. And somebody said you can still get Brazilian from StuMac. You absolutely can, but you got the little CITES paperwork, and you can't send it outside the USA. And like if you know, it's kind of like if you get the PRS with Brazilian, they stamp USA only on there. So you know, it just gets kind of funny. But yeah, you can go buy Brazilian resin right now. Yeah, you just got to get the paperwork, and you got to be a little careful about, you know, what you're doing.
That's right. Or I'll give you one of these. That's right.
John, have you ever checked out or played a Texas Toast guitar? Yes. I hear a lot of good things from people that have them. You might really like the Challenger or the American Icon that they make. Was it Dylan Talks Tones Texas Toast guitar that we played?
Yeah.
Did we play his? I feel like there was another one that came through the shop.
I think we've had two here.
I don't have any like crazy yay or nay for them. They seemed good. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with it. I don't think it was bad. I also, you know, it probably lives in that like amazing value for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're looking for a guitar, then you
Yeah.
need like a certain spot where it to sit, or like you need like a base covered, you know, with P90s or whatever. That's probably a really good option. But I would like to play a few more of them, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the deal on that one. I think Fender is funny about a lot of things. Mark Stan. I mean, yeah. You can probably say that for almost every
manufacturer.
large manufacturer for sure.
Yeah.
What is the best dark blue color you've seen in a custom shop guitar? Oof. How dark are we talking? Because like Mercedes blue is pretty darn cool when it's done well, but it almost looks black, you know. I mean, we've seen some really good dark like Lake Placid blue stuff, where it's like aged, but it's not, or it's relict, but it's not like faded or aged. It's like the true Lake Placid blue color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's any other just killer. What's the one like the desert burst that's like that dark blue burst?
It's got a funny name. It's a desert.
It's not what you don't expect it to be blue from the name.
Desert Sunset.
It is like Desert Sunset.
Desert Sunrise.
And you
like
think,
that?
oh yeah, it'll be. And it's. I did one with a guy, and we put a cool. He was a case where they let us pick out this weird Fralin like unpotted sunbucker thing, and put it in the guitar. And that guitar,
I think it's
very cool. But you know,
we had a guy do Reverse Dark Knight.
That was
pretty
cool.
Interesting.
But I do like the Mercedes blue. I like the. I am a partial, and the custom shop I'm pretty sure will do this. My Gretsch is that Midnight Sapphire, which really does look black, but then when you really see it, it's blue, and there's like the tiniest hint of like this gold flake, like sparkle in it. Not sparkly, but just, that kind of metallic color. And I think that's really cool too. I know that was like 8 options. But all those are cool. It just depends on what you want and how blue you want to be.
Ocean turquoise is probably a bit lighter than what you're looking for, but I like it a lot.
See, I'm not a crazy fan of some of the turquoise and the teal stuff, but I love it in the custom shop once it gets that sunken in look, and especially if it's faded or aged. Yeah. And I've said this before, like my Strat's that metallic teal. Yeah. And in my brain, I wouldn't really love that, but I love it on my guitar. And the turquoise on the guitar. Now, I think turquoise itself is cool, but it wouldn't be my favorite guitar color normally.
I feel like definitely aged colors in that realm of like the blues and greens makes a hell of a difference. Whenever you see them, I think it would change your mind on some of them.
Yeah, it does. Some of them you see in person, you're like, ooh, yeah, looks way better than what you'd think on paper. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. I had something in my brain. Oh, just a John, did you sell that Paisley Gretsch you had? I never had the Paisley Gretsch. We had them. You might just mean the shop, Peter. Hope you're doing well, by the way. We did sell both those Paisley Gretches. We had 2 of the Penguins in the shop, and man, I sure would have liked to have had one of them. But
they're pretty dope.
They just look awesome, man, and they're cool guitars. And there's something about just the sound of Gretsch stuff and with Filtertrons is kind of amazing. That was a really fun video. Me and Derek did it one day with like playing rhythm on that Paisley Gretsch Penguin and a shell pink Strat. I was kind of playing over the top of it with that was pretty funny or pretty fun. I did get the new Wampler Catacombs delay and reverb, and I would say so far I am very impressed. So if you need one pedal to sort of do all your delay and reverb, that could probably be the one.
Pretty damn dope.
Because it's got like 6 delays, 5 reverbs. It's got 2 switches, right? One's on and off, obviously, and then the other's tap tempo. But if you hold it down, you can scroll through the presets, and there's 8 presets. Mm-hmm. And if you hold it down one more time, the 2 switches become one's delay and one's reverb, turn them on and off independently. And then you just hold it again, and you're right back to tap tempo. So, like, super usable. So I used it to make a room for having a fuzz on my small board and only one delay, instead of having the dispatch master or something and a delay. I condensed.
It's a pretty tight board now.
So pretty good.
Very
I think the Caverns is awesome. Catacombs has way more functionality in my mind. It sounds really good too. Like it doesn't have that thin digital. Yeah. I mean, it is digital. And I will say this, like Sean and I both love the Faux Tape Echo.
Yes.
And that is one of the things on there. Mm-hmm. And it sounds just like it. It nails it. I went back and forth with them.
Covers that place too.
So like you'd almost be crazy
not
to buy that one. Yeah. And have all the even if you just use the Faux Tape. But honestly, the Space Echo on it.
Yeah. Kicks butt.
Is a really good sound.
It's cool to me whenever a pedal company, and I feel like it's more common with pedal companies to almost cover up one of their bases like that. Like they'll have something like a Faux Tape Echo, and then they make the thing that is the next step of that you can get all that functionality in and more. Good example is like Earthquaker. They do Dispatch Master, Avalanche Run, Disastrous Transport. So you kind of can step up in levels there. It's pretty dope.
Check this out. Well, how anytime you're looking at a thing and then Instagram and Facebook decide that you need to only see that thing. So I've seen all this Brian Wampler. And Brian Wampler seems like a pretty neat guy to me, And I've had Wampler stuff on and off throughout the years. I remember when Wampler first kind of hit and it was kind of like boutique-y and then it started being a Guitar Center and then it was like everywhere. And anyways, I've had quite a few of their overdrives and the Faux Tape Echo quite a few times throughout the years. But, so he's doing a thing now where he's not just like selling pedals. Like obviously he's got his YouTube channel, which I enjoy sometimes. Like he's got that one video showing the different speakers in the same amp. and how much it changed, how much of the sound is things like that that are neat. He's now doing a thing where it's like a digital course showing you how to build circuits. So like instead of selling, just pedals, the thing he's selling is how to build pedals.
That's pretty dope.
I think
It's
that's
like
kind of
a
neat.
master class.
It's a bit of a neat thing.
Yeah.
I also think he his whole stick on this whole catacombs thing was, I made the pedal just for me. Like I made it. Like he said, he laid it out how he wanted, and I guess for some reason they're like implying they thought it wouldn't do good, and it was like kind of self-indulgent. But to me, it's the best thing they've made in a while.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, well maybe I kind of wish every pedal company would start making things for them then.
I was
But
gonna
like,
say, yeah.
do that because that seems better.
Well,
Instead of guessing at what you think the masses want,
Yeah.
like
I think
do the
that's,
thing you want,
that's why we've seen these pedal companies. It's like we see this movement and trends. Like all of them go with one thing. Like, oh, we're all gonna make our tube screamer this year. Is what it feels like. So I think they should do more of that. Make the shit that you think is cool and see what happens.
But,
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm getting a barrage of texts. Apparently, there was a Christmas ornament disaster.
Dope.
Everyone in my house is looking for Gorilla Glue. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm
No
in the
one's
middle.
hurt, right?
I'm in the middle. To dozens of people
Dozens.
are watching us live stream. Dozens.
100 of people.
Fives of people. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. I don't know how many. We got 116 right now. We still haven't topped our Mike Tyson. The Cockness monster. CA glue, not Gorilla Glue. Okay, all right. I'll tell him.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back,
You're
babies.
back, baby.
I'm back. Back in black.
I've got a sack.
Beatronics. I like the Beatronics stuff. I keep wanting to really love the Beatronics stuff. I just haven't played anything from them yet that I'm like, that's the one for me.
Same.
That's the one. But I love the aesthetic, and I love sort of what they seem to be doing.
Whenever
Jack's does 100 air.
it's true.
Yeah, just hadn't figured it out. Yeah.
Whenever I've played any of them, I always just feel like it does a thing, like it's trying so hard to be like, yeah, this rip and fuzz sound, and I'm always kind of like, feel like I've ripped more fuzz without such silly pedals with bees on them. Not that I don't like them, just
the royal jelly thing is cool. I don't know why.
yeah.
And
dig
then
that one.
and I think it ties into the honey picks. It's like, all bee themed gear. We're gonna go all bees.
It's a good thought.
All bees. If I come over and visit you and play, what guitar do I bring? When they can play, honestly, Peter, you can bring any guitar you want because, fortunately for you, we have all sorts of guitars.
Yeah.
And you can switch and play any of them. But it would be awesome if you came to visit. So yeah, just bring your favorite guitar, and then
whatever.
if you want a guitar that does some other thing while you're here, you can play that. We were talking about this yesterday about who Jack Stowe says, I gave into the pressure, Johnny. You're going to be so disappointed in me. I don't know what this is, but I can't wait to hear. I feel like I'm going to be disappointed in the best way. Now I really want to know.
It's going to be good.
We could never be disappointed in Jack.
No. Jack, you can do a lot of
Jack,
stuff. And I
Jack
just
is like,
kinda,
you're up there for like the best human.
Jack can kill
award.
somebody and call me and say,
Well, what did they do?
I'd be like, well, let's go
Those
get him.
bastards.
I guess we got to go Dexter style, chop them up and
I
put
would
them in
feel
a
like I knew
river.
it was deserved
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
if Jack killed someone,
It would be very surprising to me if it was just like a weird, like, I don't know, I just couldn't control myself.
Oh, he says, I started using ChatGPT. I'm a damn hippie. You're okay, Jack. I was wrong. I am disappointed. You and Derek, ChatGPT in it. I mean, hey, that's okay. I feel like it has its place. It has its place.
That's right.
Just
right.
like tracks in Auto 10. Jack, are you still? It seems like you were still loving. Jack got the new LR Bags, that AEG one guitar with the new LR Bags acoustic system in it, and it's like the thin. I was reading more about that guitar, man. It's cool because it's kind of essentially it's like plywood back and sides, but a solid top,
Yeah.
But if you're traveling with it, you kind of want that, right? Because all you're getting is the plugged-in sound. You know, it's not made to play unplugged, and you wouldn't have to worry about it moving. You know, because I know as I played this gig the other night here, it was like stupidly cold. What was the night I played at Reds? How cold was it?
It was like
30-some degrees.
30 degrees. Yeah.
And I was under a heater, and it was fine. But my guitar, I could tell my guitar between the heater and then I could just like
Humidity.
feel it. You're like, oh, there's some bending, and I, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man. So ChatGPT, Jack used it to organize his entire song list. That actually.
That is cool.
That is actually a great use for ChatGPT. I would think, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you're still a damn hippie. Nice.
Yeah. The mayor says, has the piezo trend officially ended? Is it safe to talk about it yet?
I do think there's a move away from it because I think a lot of stuff now, like the new LR bags, the duet thing, solo duet or whatever, is the little tabs that go on the bridge, right? And so they're not piezo like under the saddle, and then they've developed that little mic that sits in between it.
Yeah.
So and you blend between the two sounds, like a K&K, which I think a lot of people use. I mean, you know, there's still plenty of piezo options like the Anthem and all that kind of stuff, but I think that a lot of new stuff is not that.
Yeah.
You know, like the hi-fi.
I took it immediately as like an electric guitars, and I was like, well, I hope so. I just don't. That sound to me is always just silly.
As much as I wish there was this crazy. I don't even know what the right word is because it's not really a problem. But I was going to say, but
it's an epidemic.
This crazy like answer to the question of having the guitar and you have a piezo built in and it sounds just like an acoustic. It just will never happen. You know.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking on an electric guitar, like the PRS, the piezo.
Well,
now, if you're blending in that sound to get neat sounds, like on top of
more attack and stuff, sure.
But and the only time I've ever sounded it or heard it sound halfway okay is when the only acoustic part is the picked out, like arpeggiated thing.
Yeah.
But there's don't strum.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
and I feel like you could point to who's the guy from Rush? What's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. The guitar player from Rush.
Oh, Lifeson.
That's the bass player. What's his name?
Alex
Lifeson?
Yeah, Alex Lifeson.
His I could understand. Like his makes sense, you know.
Well, in that scenario, you kind of got to have some kind of you're compromising.
Yeah, he's doing something weird and like it's it gets its own thing there. Tom, coffee can't fix what I got.
Coffee can't fix it. Yawn again, Sean. Man, we're wore out. Christmas is coming. We've been working on new projects. I got a newish. Sean and I both. Well, you know, Sean's is kind of out there, but I got some new things I'm working on too, that I think you're gonna all be very excited about.
That's
I'm working on a one-man play.
Derek
should.
is doing a one-man monologue.
I'll see you down at the Sunrise.
He'll be in theaters around the country.
It'd be awesome.
Jack says the blend mic is nice. The blend to mic is nice, but the guitar plays like an electric, sounds like a nice acoustic, not hummingbird. Well, of course it doesn't sound as good as your hummingbird, but I mean, I bet plugged in. I bet if you couldn't hear the guitars, it was only loud enough to hear the plugged in sound, I probably might sound better. I mean, but yeah, I mean, that hummingbird is like stupidly good. Pretty darn good. Your other Gibson is pretty darn good too, but they're both pretty stupidly good.
Theater of Pain.
The Theater of Pain. The Derek Numbers saga. Paint by the Numbers. Life in a Day of Derek. We could come up with all kinds of great titles with your last name.
Out, it should just be a desk. And you just walk over there and you start ranting and you like punch the desk every once in a while. It's like, and that's what I've had it.
On front of the desk.
It's 2 hours of me being passive aggressive.
God.
That would be.
I sort of want to come. I kind of want to come to this. Kind of want to come.
That'd be hilarious as shit. We would promote the shit out of it. I want a sold out crowd, and it's just you doing crowd work, but passive aggressively. Like you just go right down the line of each person in the rows of seats. You like that hat?
The passive aggressive roast. You would.
Good on you.
Yeah, looks good on you, I
would.
guess.
I wouldn't have made that choice, but you're crushing it. You're crushing it. Mayor McCheese and Ned are still on Raffy. They're still singing Baby Beluga in the deep blue sea. Greg McFadden says, I have the anthems in my hummingbirds. Just got another for the Epi 57 SJ200 to install. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the anthem. The anthem sounds great.
Ned said, he quoted you. I kind of want to come.
Listen, that's a statement you can make almost any time. 99% of the time, it's going to be accurate. I would say 100, but I'm sure there is some, I'm sure there's a thing. And Peter says, John, you want an Ibanez Pia shredder? I mean, kind of. I do want a shreddy thing.
I mean, those are just fun. When you pick it up, it's immediate.
We've got a few in the shop right now because they're not Ibanez's, they're Jacksons, but
they're
just for funsies.
Just a rip. I have that EVH over there.
I'm still stuck in that, like, my brain still tells me I have to have these new things. Like, I have to have them for, like, tone and utility sake, and then I don't buy just fun things.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what always stops me from buying that is the restringing process. And knowing that eventually I'll just be like, fuck it.
Yeah, because if I got a shreddy guitar, I feel like the only reason to have a shreddy guitar is to have a Floyd Rose. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I can just play it all on my other guitars. And
then you already restring your other guitars so often that if you had to do that one, that's more than just mowing your lawn. That's like, oh, I gotta trim the hedges. I gotta do it all.
Do you think that you could get in the groove and do it relatively quickly and like painlessly? Who on here has Floyd Rose that they're like, oh, I don't mind changing the strings? I mean, I feel like we're just,
maybe we're just.
I mean, I know you can do the thing when you do it now in the shop. You're probably the best at it. Do you block it? You put the thing in there.
Yeah,
like the 9-volt battery thing.
I used to do the 9-volt. Now I've got I got another method where I use a string pack and fold it over twice.
Tom says I was gonna put a Floyd Rose in the R9 if I could buy it. That would have been hilarious. Homegrown Son, thank you, sir. The hot dog shredding, the hog dog. I wish it was the hog dog. Thanks, man. I love trims. I love Bigsby's. I love trims of all kind. So when they're there, I can't not use them. I get sort of addicted. I have finally stopped putting the trim even in on my Strat because it distracts me. Why don't they make a Floyd Rose for bass? I feel like the spring tension would have to be so much.
Oh, God, man. And probably be dangerous, honestly.
Bah! Imagine when it snaps.
They say if the string on a cello snaps, it has the amount of tension to actually, like, sever your jugular if you're not careful.
My God, who knew it was so dangerous?
If you had a bass guitar that did that.
I am never standing in front of a cello again.
Andy Hicks actually told me a story when we were at the custom shop that he was working on something and the string tension was so high. It ripped he had a steel bridge made for this thing. It ripped it out of the wood and it slammed it into the wall with so much force that he actually left it in the wall because it was that impressive.
Well, that was, the day that I had that little Guild, the newish Guild Acoustic. This was years ago. This was before COVID, but I bought a newish Guild to just play little gigs around, and the bridge snapped off like that under tension while I was playing.
It's violent.
Down the street at the Jefferson, and I was like, what happened? I mean, it went flying. I never even found part of the saddle, but
that's spooky, right?
It kind of is when you think about it. Well, like, and the thing that I hate the most, here's the thing I hate the most. Maybe not the most, but it's up there. People bring in their guitars, and they're like, I keep breaking strings, and then I feel it, and it's like, oh, my God, and it'll be tuned, 2 or 3 steps higher than it should be because they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you're like,
because, and listen, everyone has to learn.
Yeah.
And we're here to help you. But, man, and then I have them like, turning them back down. One came in the other day that I tuned for a guy. And it was up. It was like
way over there. Yeah.
Way up, The low E was like F sharp,
It's kind of like a mandolin now.
Ned says, I've been dying to mod a Bigsby for my Gretsch bass. I mean, that would be kind of cool if you could do it.
Yeah.
I guess you could, right? You see, you remember the old Bryan Adams acoustic with the Bigsby on it? Derek remembers that. Kind of think that's neat. Or the Zeppelin Ultra guy from CME. This guy, the little B bender on his Hummingbird or whatever that Gibson is.
You gotta have it.
It just makes it worth it. It just makes it worth it.
So that one day when you go to do your little wiggle and fucking top caves in. Oh my God.
So, yeah. Mighty Woodrow says Collar makes a bass trim. So there you go.
I feel like there's a lot of bass trims, but a bass Floyd Rose is kind of what we're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen a bass trim before, but not a Floyd Rose on a bass, which would be nuts.
Somebody said on the bass 6, we've got a custom shop bass 6 right now, and I have no real use for it. But man,
It's cool.
I personally, this is just me, bucking the trends. I'd rather have that than a baritone.
I get it.
I think the baritones are cool, don't get me wrong. And especially if I had like Castadosa baritone money, dude, that wouldn't even be a question. But I don't. So, like with the available, you know, baritones that I'd be looking at, I just think the bass 6 is kind of cooler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Plus, I just think it'd be fun to play.
Yeah. I still like the baritone more. That's just me though.
I feel like you're very creative in using the baritone,
I like it.
and you're doing the crazy like tune down to C thing. So, you know.
Yeah. And if you listen to that McGee guy at all, you're like, damn, that's dope. Not that I'm
You know,
in that vein.
The
but it's
sounds
cool.
you're doing, a baritone makes sense. I think Carlos needs to just send you a baritone to the gauzed.
It'd be scary. Send me one of those, and then I'll be like, damn it, now I got to get real.
Mighty Woodrow saying, so what you're saying is you never want bass players to change their strings. I mean, do they change their strings anyways?
We know some nasty bass players.
There's the question.
In all fronts of nasty.
I got to say, Joe changes bass strings more than any bass player I've ever maybe met.
It's kind of weird for him, I think, because he would be the guy that I would expect to be like, no, I love that.
Oh, they're
dead,
great. I
dark
took them off
tone.
and boiled them in '97, and they're still fine.
Well, smell them.
You
Smell
know?
them.
But no, he changes his strings quite often. Man, my bass 6 is tuned up to D.
They have effects pedals for bass. Just saying. Okay. That's so funny.
My goodness.
What?
My goodness. I mean, you know, there's some effects pedals that are okay for bass. Are there any that you just like?
Wah.
don't
You
wanna
should
say
never bass wah. Not once, not twice, not even a half of a time. Don't even have the thought. God.
Matt on the Water says, can I bring or ship up a Strat for a setup? Or send it back with you. You can send it back with me when I'm in Charleston again. I'd probably be in Charleston. I might actually be playing a show with a guy, like a country guy, on the 28th. It's like at Bennett's Point, if you know where that is. So like about an hour away, like towards Edisto, on the 28th. So if I am there, and we could, yeah, you could give me your Strat, and we could do a little setup action if it was just like, you know, regular run-of-the-mill setup, and then ship it back to you. How do you feel about doing a setup and then shipping it? Does it defeat the purpose?
I don't think so. I mean, it definitely won't probably be exactly the same.
I mean, like, we get this stuff all the time in the mail, new guitars that are set up, I would say, ranging from just fine to great. You know, so it's kind of funny. But, yeah, no, we could do that.
Don't worry.
So, yeah, hit me up.
Ned
Send us an
said,
email.
this might be one of Ned's best grifts in a while. Bass wah is better than Radiohead's output after 2003.
Oh!
It's insane.
Oh!
What a wild
Shots
thing to say.
fired.
In Rainbows, coming out in 2007. Come on. What are you smoking? I'm trying so hard to fight some.
John W. says, no year needed, Ned. Man. Okay. Ned's ready to fight you, Sean.
Have you even listened to a Moon-Shaped Pool? Come on.
We're gonna start having like basically celebrity death matches, but within our little community of live streamers. We're gonna have sanctioned bouts.
It'd be
We're
great.
gonna have them. We can put a little ring right out
here.
back. Can't do
We
it in
got
the studio. I don't
the
wanna
we
tear
got the
stuff
rug.
up.
Look at
We
that.
do have the rug.
It's like a fight club.
Depends on how hard you guys are going. Can't talk about it though. Can't talk about it. God, what if we put on our own little matches and we just live stream? But you got to wear like the little gi things, you know, so you guys can grab each other by the collar and throw each other around.
Fuck that. I'm going full Tyson.
You're just gonna stand there and chew in your hand.
No, in the nude. In the nude, dude.
You went in the nude.
Yeah.
Just his ass was out.
Let it all
No
hang
full
out.
frontals. Casino tussling. My God, I love it. Little hoss hustling. Hoss tussling.
Zackify gets it. And
Tussling
Rainbows
hosses.
is a top 5 album. I think it's a perfect 10 in every way.
In every way.
In the same way a moon-shaped pool is. It's raining.
Is that what that is? Is rain? I don't know. John W. says, I'd wrestle a hoss in a kiddie pool filled with tapioca. Whew. And then if you win, you get a Fender custom shop. There you go. We could have that. We could have wrestling for custom shops.
That would be pretty dope.
But you got to beat Derek. If you can beat Derek, you have a custom shop.
Derek
knows
a
all.
Professional boxer.
All the
slap
pressure
boxer.
points.
I may have killed a man in the war.
He may have killed a man.
He's the hidden boss here. You got to get him.
What is the biggest thing announced for 2025 that we are excited about? What you got?
You guys ever heard of bankruptcy?
The end of days?
What? Oh my God. I don't know. What is there? Is there anything exciting that you're excited about? Like in that, I don't know about in that realm, as far as like products or.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of anything. That's dope.
I mean, it's almost weird. It's almost like the cycle is so weird right now of how they introduce new products. It's sort of like it used to be, like, you know, you kind of waited for NAMM, maybe Summer NAMM, like new things will be announced.
PRS will have some big announcements, for sure.
Derek says PRS has got some big ones. That one could be kind of cool. They said that I was excited about it. I'm only kidding. I'm mostly kidding. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like it all hits the first of the year like that anymore. I feel like things get introduced throughout the year, and because there's so many, I feel like there's less excitement for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of anything that is jumping out.
I was pretty darn excited. This is such a nerdy, dumb thing. There's a company called Petty John Electronics that I am a fan of.
That'll be cool.
And I have a couple of their pedals. And one of my largest pedal purchases ever was the Petty Drive version 2. And they've just announced the Petty Drive version 3, which is kind of amazing. It's really expensive. It's like $699, but it's basically all the overdrives they've ever done, plus this crazy buffer and a boost, and all these routing options, and like sort of like recording level, like audio file preamp kind of stuff for recording, all in one enclosure, you know, with 3-foot switches. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, I probably won't buy one because I don't really have a use for one, but I just think it's neat. You know, so I don't know. I don't know if excited is the right word. I did send it. I was excited enough to send it to Sean.
It looks
so cool. It did look cool. But I don't know. I mean, the PRS thing will be pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see with the stuff rolling out from them, like the response. If people will be like, "Oh my God," or if it'll just be like, okay, another new thing.
That may be the way. We will see. We will see.
So, we shall see. So I don't know. We'll see. Does Sean play lacrosse? Do you play lacrosse?
I don't. Not once. Not even once.
Not even one time. I don't even feel like that was ever an option. I feel like I know that some people get into playing lacrosse as kids. Maybe
there was no schools.
There was no one thought to. No one ever said to me, "Hey, son, would you like to be on the lacrosse team?"
Yeah. I didn't see anything like that.
Never.
I didn't really realize that
thing?
is a thing in other places. Like,
I feel like with little redneck kids, like you give them a bunch of sticks and tell them to go out in the field and try to throw the ball into the net, and it would turn into
each other. Yeah.
They would all come back happy and bloody, and maybe it wouldn't be the desired the effect you're going for. I don't know. Can you do a Fender custom shop for a jazz bass? Absolutely not. No, you can't. In fact, we have one right now.
We do.
That's pretty sweet. It's green, Sherwood green. If I'm not, is it Sherwood green?
It is Sherwood green.
Sherwood green.
It's pretty dope.
And it is pretty sweet. Yeah, so you can. We do much less custom shop basses than guitars. So I don't know why, but well, I do know why. But you know,
I thought Ned said lap dance lessons. I was like,
Yes.
I had a lacrosse team, but I was too busy taking tap dance.
I mean, which one are you going to use more in the real world? Obviously, you're going to tap dance more as an adult.
It's true.
No adult lacrosse weekends. Plenty of tap dancing
That's right.
conventions.
Just busting that mess out.
Holy crap! Like that. Who's that one guy with sort of like the kind of baggy jeans and his shirt's tucked in? He's got long hair and he does the little. He just always floats across the stage. I think he's clogging. You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen that guy in the memes?
No, I don't know. That guy, Tom, was Dylan. Sweet, sweet Dylan. I would say buy him lunch, but he seems to fail to buy anybody else lunch.
Oh.
Bang! He's screaming next door right now. He's
What,
yelling,
Sean?
I'm buying lunch today. God damn it.
There's no lunch today. We're all fasting.
We're
all fasting.
I'm the fastest boy alive.
Matt on the Water says lap dance lessons sound way cooler. I think you can like take those now and like call it exercise. You know, or learn to be on the pole.
Look.
It's just
No,
good exercise.
It's a better workout than doing push-ups and sit-ups and going for a run, you know.
It is.
That shit that they've been doing
It's hard to hold yourself on that pole.
since the dawn
It's
of time.
hard to hold yourself on the pole. By God,
I need to add a pole to it and swing my ass around it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look neat.
Lunch for Dylan. There you go.
Oh my God! Oh my
He
God!
earned it, baby.
That's it. Have we ever listened to a band called Powder Mill? I don't think so.
No.
Derek, you ever heard of Powder Mill? Or Powder Keg? No. Never heard of Powder Mill.
Nose beers.
But we'll check them out. We'll check them out.
Oh yeah.
We got we are winding down. I still can't believe it's the end of the year. Do you guys just feel like I don't understand. It's like my brain is like, oh no, it's Christmas. It's the end of the year, but it's not quite.
Yeah.
Right. I feel so much more. I know that as you get older, you know, you're like, oh, the years go quicker, blah, 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 blah. True statement.
Jonathan, time
But,
is a solid line.
shut up.
There's
Shut
no
up.
breaks in it, all right? Whenever
Okay,
people
Einstein.
say, it's time I reinvent myself this year. It's a line.
No, that's dumb. That's dumb.
Do it now.
But it's it says 2020 has been wild. I just feel like I've never felt so unprepared for like the end of the year and Christmas. But it seems to be everyone I talk to seems to say that. Maybe we said that last year too, and we'll say it next year. Maybe that's all. It's all a trick of your mind. I don't know. But
I think some years you're just in that spirit. Some years, you know, it might pass you by. Like Halloween felt like Halloween this year. That was cool.
Have you guys set up Christmas trees? I haven't even set up a Christmas tree.
Yeah. we got a
listen,
Christmas tree.
I set up Christmas trees. Set up a Christmas tree, and I also, for the first time ever, put lights outside my house. They're disappointing meager lights.
We got
But it was
ourselves-
really just because the kids wanted to do them, you know. The icicle lights, like hanging from the little gutter thing, are fine. It took me forever to do them by myself with the little clips. But and I had to mix match strands. I had to like double some. It was just whatever. But then I got those net things that you put over top of bushes.
Yeah.
But I didn't have enough. So I just put them on this one giant bush in front of our house, and now it looks kind of like a square. And I'm like, I'm doing it in my mind. I'm like, because it is neat, right? And the kids love it. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks really kind of weird. And I'm like, okay, should I redo it in some way? Because I don't have enough for all the bushes, and I'm not going to buy more lights now.
Yeah.
So they were just in the attic, you know, because we bought them and like never used them. And I was like, oh, so I can't decide. Then part of me is like, I should just make some like little scene or get a little like manger scene and put in front of them, and it'll look like a screen, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Just leaving
But,
up my Halloween decorations and putting Santa Claus hats on them.
Harley Benton lights on Jonathan's house. They're not even Harley Benton level, Tom. They're like they're the Gleary or whatever you call it at best. But hey, it's the spirit. It's the spirit that counts, right? Avant-garde Christmas. There you go. I don't know, but I feel like this year I'll just buy a bunch of things on clearance, like the lights when everybody's throwing them out at the end. Walmart, Dollar General. And the next year I'll be ready to roll. Ready to roll.
So, Mayor said, do people put candles in their windows down here? Not really.
I
I haven't
In
seen many.
Ohio, they did. My mom did. Growing up,
feel like
That
for a
feels
while.
like a good way to burn the house down. I don't know.
they were like electric.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
okay.
for a while the electric candle
I was
thing, and I
gonna
still
say.
see that like in our neighborhood, the electric candles. I don't know anybody that puts real candles, but
That'd get nuts. I never saw that.
Listen,
That's why I was like, damn, like candles in every
you
window.
telling me you never smoked in bed, Sean? Lay in bed, smoke. That's how you burn your house down, like a pro. But
I fell asleep with a cigarette in my hand.
no, I mean candles do look cool. I feel like if I had candles in my window with my little icicle lights and got rid of the bush lights, my house would look classy. But I'm not really going for classy. I'm going for my small kids who just want to throw lights everywhere. It's fine.
Did you wear a Santa hat while you did it?
No. I yelled at people and said, "Why aren't you helping me hold these damn lights?" Like you should do, like good traditions. Nah.
Clark, is your house on fire?
Oh, now Nathan's got it going. He's like, I just keep my Halloween decorations up until January. One job, 2 holidays. I did feel like I just don't ever want to take them down. I just turn them off until next year.
Or you cut them on and you're just like, no, it's just the aesthetic.
It's just mood lighting,
Yeah.
you know? So there you go. Get the starlight and stick it in the ground. Is that the thing that just shines the dots in the house? You know what I'm talking about?
You just stab it in the ground and you're like,
I had one of those. I have one of those too. I did it one year and I was like, oh, this is a letdown. I think I brought the cheap one. I think I cheaped out.
I mean,
was just
all
like-
those things, in my opinion, are kind of like, it's okay. It's cool. I mean, it's just,
We've got a couple houses near us that put like, I'm talking, I bet there's 100 inflatables. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like these two houses compete next to each other. And it's kind of neat to drive by, but I was like, man, the kids were like, can we get an inflatable? I'm like, no, because we get these cheap ones, they fall over. And I'm like, I would have a panic attack. Not really a panic attack, but I would just be like so angry if I couldn't walk through my front yard.
do you know how many damn guitar pedals that would cost? Shut the hell up.
It's a great. I do feel like I've done something right with my children because they get very excited if they know new things like that are coming in the mail. They're like, oh my God, a new pedal, let's open it. So I feel like I've gamed the system in that, you know.
It's brilliant.
Dad, you deserve it. You deserve it, Dad.
I
I don't know how I
do.
figured that out, but it's got to be Christie's goodness. My red lava lamp in the window. My children both asked for lava lamps for Christmas. I don't know. I don't really know where that came from. I don't even know how they know what a lava lamp is.
It's coming back.
Elijah was like, I want a big bag and a lava lamp. I was like, what? Okay.
And a vase to put flowers in.
Like
You know,
it's,
a really tall, skinny vase with a big circular part at the bottom. What?
Chad B says, my wife made me remove the screens off our windows so that she could hang the little wreaths. That was 15 years ago. Screens still in the garage. Yeah, there's no way in the world.
No,
That's
no.
a lot of work to hang little wreaths. If you
Go
take them
back
off,
up?
they're off.
Yeah.
They're out of there. Steve says, we have neighbors with so many lights you can see it from space.
Clark?
Todd Roy says he just puts his black light in the window. Also, all fun ideas. All fun ideas. I feel like I don't know. We should do some strange, like over the top decoration here with our guitars. I don't know what we would do. I mean, we got little
Just
decorations.
light my guitar
We got
on
little
fire
things around the
behind us.
guitar shop.
Let it burn.
So, you know, what are you gonna do? Somebody's making bong jokes. Yeah, that'll be next year for Christmas. Next year, the bongs. Ned says my neighbor is a trailer park. They decorate with the lights on top of the cop cars every couple nights. There you go. There you go.
I love it.
Tom, for Dylan to buy the other one. Y'all had that is hilarious. Dylan.
Stingy ass again. Jesus.
Poor Dylan.
Poor Dylan.
Poor
He's
Dylan.
gonna be livid. It's gonna be great.
Dylan, if
We're
you
gonna go next door, he's gonna be pissed.
you know it's all Sean doing this. I wouldn't talk about you like that.
I hit him with it yesterday when Taylor was in there. He's like, "That's not true. That's not true."
What? Y'all had Mexican yesterday?
Yeah, we did.
You sons.
You ran too soon.
I had a lesson, and I barely made it back because I had to go all the way to the stupid UPS store. And I tried to go in the subway, and they're like, "We're only taking exact change." And I'm like,
Sorry,
what in God's
Slick.
name.
Matt did put a mint green pickguard on his red Strat, and it was dope. It was sick.
Yeah, that's cool.
Candy apple red Strat, it only made sense.
You want to show the fans the
The
vintage
palm?
purchase that came if they missed the video?
How could they have missed the video, Derek?
Yeah, maybe.
How could they have missed the video?
I put the video on. I just wanted to see what the fast forward looked like on it, where I was routing out Derek's guitar.
Mwah.
My dogs were freaking out because I was in the room and on the TV. So they were
Really?
like, Roby was
Kinda
like on the TV stand.
Oh my
looking at it.
God.
She was like, and then she'd come back down and she'd run over to me, and then she would run back to the TV. I was like, that's hilarious. This is it though. Look at that.
What was the consensus in the video? Have you looked at in the comments?
Not too much hate on it. It seems like the consensus is covered.
David, where are you from?
David, where are you from? David Hamblin. And good morning. It's still morning. Yeah, I mean,
Everybody said covers on.
everybody liked the covers on. I mean, the covers were better. I'll be honest with you. I know that I like the look of covers better. I kind of expected us to like the sound better
Of the other.
without, but yeah. Does the gold top have the bigger headstock? Yeah, it does. It's the good old 70s, so it's got the big fat headstock. And by fat, I mean wide.
All right, so have you guys seen? I don't know if I can play it on here, but did you know there is a Trailer Park Boys are doing a movie?
No.
Another one?
Bubbles starts a band.
Dope.
Really?
Tour. Yes, it's
Sick.
called Standing on the Shoulders of Kittens.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So
Okay.
everybody go check it out. I don't want to put it on here because it will demonetize us, but yes, that's a must watch. We'll watch the trailer when we get done here.
Should that be one of our next live streamed events where we put it on the TV and we watch it? So it's not on there; it's just in the background, and then we will give commentary, and we can all watch it together. Jenner I says he loves the gold top, even a Norland area variant. This is a really good gold top. Like, it plays great. I wish I would restart the series and go into people's jam rooms. It was never. I mean, it was a series. Whose jam room could we go to next?
We did well.
Did Peters, right?
Maybe we need to do a tour of the Neon Rooster.
That'd be cool.
That's a great idea, actually.
That's a great idea.
Well, and I know that there was a talk about doing like
We're gonna do
our
Personal
collections.
yeah.
Would you guys? I guess we're gonna do it either way. But would you guys want to see individual collections? Like we go and see Derek's stuff, and then we go and see Baxter's, mine, Johnny's. Do all that stuff. I think that'd be cool.
And should we go there, or do we just bring all our junk here and lay it
Yeah.
out?
In my opinion, I think we just go to the places because like your shed's really cool the way it's all laid out. I think
Yeah, if I straighten it up.
my downstairs.
We would all fit in there right now, but yeah.
I feel like
That'd be kind of neat.
the rooster could almost be its own thing.
The
And
rooster
then
could be its own thing, and we
go
could
to
do it as
Derek's
the rooster tour / collection.
Yeah.
And maybe we do Derek's collection at
Yeah.
the rooster.
Oh, I was gonna say I think we can go to his house. Like I love the setup.
Well,
and
that is cool.
Yeah,
I just
got
think
that.
it's fun to see like where we are, where you create at. Like you got a little space. I got my little space in the shed. Man on the Water says 100% says I want to see the collections. Prepare to be disappointed.
That's it.
Ever see a Mexican Strat?
Now we got some cool stuff, but maybe not as much of it as you would think. But we honestly, it might surprise ourselves though when we start pulling out junk. I want to do the reverb collection thing. Like I don't know if you guys saw did that video come out yet?
Comes out tomorrow.
So
Okay.
our good friend Louis Beeman did his, and I don't think he'll be mad at me if I say this. He said that his added up to be $22,000. So I'm kind of like,
How many Harley Bentons is that?
I mean, at
It's
least,
like 300
yeah,
Harley Bentons.
it's a ton, right? That's what actually had me kind of curious because I was like, man, I bet I've
If you
got
put all
20
your
grand.
amps, all your gear, all your pedals.
I know mine is way more than that. I mean, I'm probably gonna be like, damn, But it's also gonna make me feel better about not having life insurance.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, the kids will be fine.
It is your life insurance
It is. It's meager as it is.
Glad I don't own that home. I'm glad I own all these pedals. I'm afraid that my pedals are going to equal up to about 20 grand,
Your pedals?
Yes.
No.
I
not
bet
your
pedals alone.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of pedals for 20 grand.
Hey,
20 grand is a
we
shit
start
ton of
cracking
pedals.
down, man. It's like, okay,
Yeah, we
Space
gotta add
Echo's
in
$2
everything.
grand.
Well, you got some of
CE's
those
$1
things.
grand. It starts.
Do you count the Space Echo as a pedal though?
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal. Everybody has to, this week, watch
All right.
the video. Comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, the collection video.
Do the collections.
Yep.
And post your total amount of shit you've spent money on
I'm gonna make.
in the chat.
I'm gonna make
Next
the
one.
Facebook group today once we get off the live stream, and
And then we'll all talk aimlessly like this all the time. We'll
Well,
all be even less productive.
I was gonna say I don't
It'll
know
be great.
how to extend that offer out to you guys, but just shoot into our Facebook page, and we'll set it up so that there is a private group, and you can shoot it into there, which would just be funny to see, and we can all make jokes at each other and make fun of each other for having shit that is way out of the park.
Mayor McCheese has said, how do you do the, it could be subjective. When you do the collection thing, it helps you find comparable things on Reverb to give you like a baseline,
Yeah.
like what is worth.
I would say for the fun of it, everybody should go with the highest number, just so that we can have
Jesus.
outrageous. Right, that's funny to me.
Man. I mean, like, it's, because I've got a fair number in my head of like amps and guitars, and it's pretty high. But it's then when you start getting into like, because we're talking like power supplies, everything.
That's what I mean. Pedal and
If you
pedal
can find
related
it on
things.
Reverb, put it in there.
I mean,
There you go.
we're not gonna go with cabling and boards. That's too much. Because it's pedal train's
Yeah.
worth $100, and the
Yeah.
cabling is all kind of disposable.
fine,
But
but
I think you
power
got to do every
supplies.
power supply, every stupid pedal.
Yep. Yep.
Like man. Okay. All right.
Jen Rice said, "I'm 33 and what you call a poor." We are also what you call a poor.
Welcome. Welcome.
You're within
You
good
found your
company.
people. But we're not geared
No
for that.
wives or significant others allowed in that group, Sean. Yeah, straight up.
You know how you've seen the meme that says people look at your guitar collection and assume you're wealthy, and you're like, no, I just make bad decisions. That I feel like that's the group a lot of us are in. But hey, what are you gonna do? Man's got to have his tools. Cost, got to add in cost for the nudie suit. I really think that we should all get nudie suits.
How much is a nudie suit? Like,
I feel like they're probably expensive.
$8
Derek
grand?
should know. Are they that much?
they're expensive as shit. Dude.
Okay, so we're gonna get like a Temu.
Yeah, it's not like
nudie suit.
it's not like oh you
Knock
got
off.
a nudie suit. Okay, that must have been a couple $100.
Actual-
Yeah, the real
Well, we
dude.
can't do that. We can't do that unless we're gonna wear it every day. We gotta have to wear it every day forever for the rest of our lives. That could be good motivation for me not to get fatter.
I think
have to fit my nudie suit.
I think I'd do all black.
I mean, there's one on here where this is just a shirt and pants, and it's $4,500.
Now, Greg McFadden has a great point right here. He says, being a guitar nut and owning recording studios in the past, and my personal setup, it would be more than a big house easily. That's why I drove the same SUV for 20 years. I mean, we were talking the other day about like you make these decisions to be like what you want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like now, I was trying to tell my wife the other day about, we were talking about amps, oddly enough, which God bless my wife for talking to me about amps. But I was like, these Magnetones are like bucket list amps for people. Like, once in a lifetime, like your purchases, and I have multiple ones. You know what I mean? But like you make those decisions, and yeah, my truck is 20 years old, and my other one has 300,000 miles on it. And it's like the two vehicles that we own. So yeah, I mean that's a really good point. You just got to pick what you
It is.
you want.
It is.
But
Control your conditioning, and then also.
But I do
video.
think the recording stuff gets really pricey really fast.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right? So like if you start adding in your recording setup and the rooster and
Fucking
and the junk you
ridiculous.
got, that's where it really gets out of control. I feel like.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's gonna be kind of silly. It's gonna be bad news. Tears will be shed.
Andrew Chavez says, we grew up not having much money. First guitar was a pawn shop, Memphis, and as I progressed, I got a better guitar. My first real guitar was a Les Paul in '97. Main guitar for 18 years. I think a lot of us have very similar stories to that, right?
My first guitar, the first one that I played was it wasn't even a brand. It was called Indie. doesn't even exist. I don't
Yeah.
even know where it came
There's
from.
all sorts of guitars like that, like those old JB players and these Austin branded ones, and like, you know, some of that stuff was okay and some of it was not. But I remember all being around all that stuff and playing all that stuff. And then like the first guitar that I actually had was a Squier, like one of the cheap Squiers. And then I played that thing forever, Strat. Played it forever. A wonderful dude that lived near me gave me a Gibson the Paul, the like thin, you know, no veneer, just like it was at the time I thought it was like, oh my god, and it was an e-guitar, but you know, I had all these crazy cheapish guitars and then Mexican Fenders until fairly recently, you know, when you start getting into the crazy boutique gear and working at shops and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's cool.
I saved up everything I had. Well, not really. I guess I did that through, what was that? A firm. I got that American Original. And that was like, holy.
I mean, I still remember you buying the Twin.
Yeah.
You know,
I got that on Reverb, and I bought it through. It was $1,000, and which is crazy because now they're like $2,000. But I got it used, and it came in a dishwasher box. It's pretty dope. I was like, wow. Okay.
Woodrow remembers my guitar, the Paul thing. It was killer, man. That's one that I sort of wish, just for nostalgia's sake, that I'd sort of held on to. But I was a little guitar trading whore from the very get-go. It's out of here. Time for the newest thing. I just swapped. And I didn't have anybody around. Like, when I started playing, man, nobody I knew, you know, I didn't really have like family members that played, or anybody said. No one said, "Hey, you'll probably want some of your first guitars."
Yeah.
Always. I mean, I just didn't, and it didn't occur to 19-year-old me like, "Oh yeah, I might want this one day."
I mean, for me, I guess I held on to the junk that I knew was not, like, it meant something to me, but it wouldn't mean shit. Like if I took it somewhere, they'd be like, "Oh, we'll give you $10." I was like, shit, you know.
I wish I had. I mean, for the first, God, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years that I played, I just was so ignorant about amps. You know what I mean? It was just like whatever you can get to play your guitar into. You know what I mean? I wish I had kind of had some decent amps from the get-go. But Mighty Woodrow says you were. I know. It's just grown. The scope of it has only grown. That's all.
Keeps going.
But to be fair, I haven't traded a guitar in quite a long time.
Yeah,
I've
that's
stuck
true.
with the ones that I.
Last thing was probably that Nash, right?
The last Nash I got rid of to buy the first Magneton.
Yep.
And I haven't really gotten rid of anything since then. But anyways. Tom says, wrap it up. 1.5 hours. This is true. This is true. We probably should go, you know, get Dylan to buy some. Dylan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Dylan. It's okay, little buddy.
So, you know, Peter Moore says, well, that recent review of Insert Baxter review here, guitar, I forwarded that to a few people and had no replay. Baxter's demos are very good. Most of them are replay worthy.
He does pretty damn good.
So there you go. Tom said, yeah, I wish someone had told me to toss the Fender amp that came with my Squire. I mean, you know, and I didn't even have an amp for the first like, almost year. I was playing my little Squire with no amp, trying to learn how to play. I would just go to the guitar shop to get the plug in.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sure they hated that. They were like, God, this stupid kid.
I remember whenever I was like 17 or 18, we went to Sam Ash, and I was talking to the drum guy in the room, and you know how the electronic kits. I was like, is it okay if I came in here to practice? So stupid. It's like, you jackass.
You're not supposed to ask him, Sean. You just
You're
do
not
it.
supposed
You
to
just
ask.
do it.
Yeah. And he looked at me and he was like, no. He's like, and I knew the guy. He's like, I like you. He's like, but no, never do that.
No,
He's like, "That's stupid."
he did you a service.
He did, yeah,
He did you
it's
a
like-
service. Because I
kind.
was sort of like shy and reserved enough that I wouldn't just go in and do. I mean, I'd go in and play for a minute, but I wouldn't just go in and practice.
Right.
But I would go in and plug in to like try something out just to see like my little riff I was trying to learn at home.
Yeah.
You know, me butchering the beginning of Layla. It sounded like plugged in.
There you go.
Because it does sound different. But anyways,
It's like that. Yeah, we had that one dude who was coming in here to teach lessons, and I caught a case of the ass with him. And now every time he comes in, hey boss, how's it going, boss? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna beat your damn teeth in, dude. It drives me insane. Don't come in here and be nice.
Don't you ever come be nice to us.
Because I called him out on that shit, and he was like,
What are you going to do?
boss.
All right. We love you all. Well, last one. John, did you see the guitarist review of the Epi Firebird?
Greed.
I actually have not seen that, so I'll have to see it.
I don't know.
Spicy Sean was here today.
Yeah.
Spicy Sean. He's been
Not
sick.
it.
He's been tired. He gets spicy. It's okay.
It's been a year.
It's okay. It's fine. Sean and I did get to see, we didn't talk about this, Blackberry Smoke.
Oh, yeah.
On,
We met Charlie.
Charlie is
A sweet
dear, sweet, kind man, as Uncle Larry would say.
So sweet.
I wish we had had a few more minutes to talk to him, but it was a little bit rushed in our.
I could have bundled him up and said, "Come with me.
Put him in your pocket.
Come with me." He's so nice.
Dude, and they just, if you hadn't seen Blackberry Smoke live, you need to do it because they're so freaking good.
It was pretty damn great.
It's just a great show. You know, the songs are great. Some bands you go see, right, and the songs are great, and you love the songs from listening to them on the albums, and then the show is just them playing the songs. I feel like Blackberry Smoke goes a step beyond, like it's a show.
Yeah.
And it's not like a light show with legends and junk. Like it's just it's just them on stage, but
Raw.
I feel like you're entertained the whole time. Or at least I am. Maybe that's the boomer-ness in me.
Well, I mean, also though the not only the quality of the showmanship, I feel like comparing the songs to like what the recordings are, it's like it's just better live. Like they just sound
I think
great.
they genuinely, and the songs are great. You know, obviously on the records, but they are better live, I think.
I mean, that man can sing his ass off live. He didn't hit a damn bum note
And he
once.
does it effortlessly.
Oh, I mean, he went right up to that mic and he just boom. You're like, damn.
And
dude.
it's yeah.
I mean,
My
he's
friends and
talented.
friends, Blackberry Smoke, only hear good things about Charlie. From, you know, obviously doing this, we hear about all those different guys, and I've never heard a bad word about any of those dudes.
No, I've only heard good stories.
And every time that I have any sort of like, I mean, we're not like pals with them, obviously, but
We're best buds.
we're best buddies. I wish we were, but
Charlie complimented my bracelet. I
every
know we're
interaction or
friends.
thing you see, it reinforces, hey, these are good guys.
Yeah.
These are down to earth, like just good people who are actually work their tails off and are also very talented. So, you know, yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I every time I've seen them live, I come away being more of a fan, which is about the best you can say for about any band, I think. You know.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go. All right, we really are done now. We love you all. We'll see you later. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Man, we are so behind on our giveaways because we never think about it right before. But we have 2 to give away to you guys. So I think we need to do. I said this like the last 2 weeks in a row. We just need to do double giveaways next time, next week. We got one more Wednesday before Christmas.
The Christmas giveaway.
So maybe
That's what
maybe
call
we'll
it.
double up.
Maybe we'll just do it on the live stream next week.
Live
Let it
stream,
all
yeah.
in one.
I think we should maybe we should do them since we got the both things. Maybe we should do one to just these dudes, again, and then one to the greater commented people.
I like it. I think that's smart.
So there
I
you
like that.
All right, Peter, man, I hope the blood test goes good. I think I saw you said you were getting that tomorrow. Yeah, you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.